Transformers 1. What do I think of this movie? Let's get into the review. Well, I've just got out of the cinema now, just got out of seeing Transformers 1. Let's take this off, actually, because it is boiling. Which definitely isn't a bad thing, you know, given what time of the month are we in now? What time of the year? End of October. Nice to have some blue skies. Transformers 1, though. I find Transformers movies in general very hard to watch. It wasn't something I liked growing up as a kid, Transformers, and it's never been something I've really enjoyed now. The whole aspect of like robot stroke sci-fi kind of things, where there's like a leader and kings and queens, and they're like, oh, we are in charge, and this is the planet of this, and we are a community, and I've always just found it to be a bit corny, to be honest, you know. I've always found it to be a bit strange, so I've never really enjoyed it. Never had like a kid's toy of things that transform. I never found it enjoyable as a kid, you know. So that's a caveat to this. The film itself, though, obviously taking that emotion out of it in terms of not liking this is a I guess, origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron, which I did know about Optimus Prime, obviously. I have seen the Michael Bay movies over the years and whatnot. But this one is very much the Optimus Prime origin story. And I guess a bit of a reboot in terms of like an animated reboot. They did do an animation movie way back when, which I believe is out on 4K and whatnot. But it's a more of like 2D animation. But this is more, you know, 2024 kind of animation. I believe it's Paramount. So yeah, this is more 2024 animation and a bit of a reboot, I guess, for the next one. They even called it Transformers 1, which I know it could mean one thing, we're united as one, but definitely there's going to be a Transformers 2, how it ended as well, you know. As somebody who doesn't really know the story and the backstory, I found the actual story to be quite boring at the beginning. So the first bit of the movie was quite slow, to be honest. The first 40 minutes, if not 50 minutes, was very slow, I found. And it ultimately was building on things, and it just felt really quick. It felt really quick where I think his name is D something, Megatron basically was switching. I found that very quick. 1 minute he was like fine, and the next minute he just was like going to the dark side. And you had this light and dark aspect towards the end. It was a really cool montage and at the very end of the light and the dark and good versus evil. And I guess two friends that at the beginning on that journey, and then ultimately, you know, it's not a spoiler, that is kind of common knowledge in this. But it's basically about the Megatron and Optimus Prime's origin story and how that journey began, where they were at the beginning and where they were at the end. I gotta be honest, towards the actual end of the story though, it got really much better, to be honest. It did land a bit better for me, and animated really did work for Transformers, which I'd never seen any animation stuff before, especially the 2D stuff. As I say, I've never seen it, but it did work. This worked for me more than the Michael Bay movies, you know, more than the whole Shia LaBeouf stuff, you know, integrating Transformers into the real world. This is what it could be, but for me, I just didn't enjoy, I still don't enjoy the Transformers universe or Transformers characters, I guess, but that is not in my score at all. As for the movie, I found it, as I say, slow to begin with, but it built up very well. Music, it was fantastic in the film. That was one of the things that stood out to me. Not to mention, obviously, all the voice cast, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, some of the two biggest ones in there. Really good voice cast from all the cast, to be honest, and I think they all did really, really well. And the overall look and colour schemes of the movie was good. It wasn't too like in your face and saturated. Every Autobot had like different unique characteristics to build up the people, and it really did feel like a world, you know. It felt like the world building in there was good. The only thing I didn't like, as I say, was just the actual plot of the film in terms of the beginning. I found like it was too slow rather, and you know, they were really honing in the fact rather that, you know, Optimus Prime was this, you know, he's really optimistic, I guess. He really was like, he thought he was born to do something better than this, and ultimately wanted to go on this quest to do blah 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 blah. But yeah, it was okay. Rating the film though, as a movie in itself, I gave it a 3.5 star. I think it executed some of the things really well towards the end, and I think it did really well with the casting choices, the look and feel of the movie, as well as the music and all of that. You know, I'm not going to penalize it. Did I enjoy it? No. 2-star probably if I was going to say enjoyment. But that's just me and Transformers. But as a film, I gave it a 3.5 star because I really do appreciate the art that was involved and all of the work that went into it. It definitely shone through, and I think they did really well with that world building aspect, as I said, which is important in this type of film. So yeah, 3.5 star for Transformers. It's not my cup of tea, but I understand it is for a lot of people. However, there it is, 3.5 star. Thanks for watching, guys, my review of Transformers 1. Have you seen it? Let me know your thoughts down below. As I say, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.